Is this the worst driving F53 that we've ever had in our shop? So today we're going to be taking this 2019 22K GVWR F53 out for a short road test. We've actually already taken it on our road performance assessment, and my shop manager told me that this is one of the worst ones that he has ever driven, and he has worked in our shop for just a little longer than I've been alive, so just about 33 years. He's like, you got to drive this thing. So I have not driven it yet. I did feel the steering a little bit, and I have a pretty good idea of what we're going to find. But just again for reference, this is a 2019 chassis. It's a 22K GVWR coach. On paper, this thing should drive great. We've got a really good weight ratio front to rear. It's a 66% ratio, so we're 7650 on the front axle, 11550 on the rear. The overhang ratio is, okay, 48%, which is actually more than what I thought it would be. Visually, it looks like it's got just a very short overhang section, so generally that does help them drive pretty good. And in my experience, the 22K usually drive pretty good. You've got those 22.5-inch rims, and you don't have quite as stiff of a spring as what the 26K run. This coach also already has some upgrades on it. So it's got Safety Plus steering control. It's got the white unit, the 180-pound unit. It's got a bigger Hellwig front anti-sway bar. It's got our SuperSteer SS401 rear track bar, and it has Monroe Magnum shocks. So wouldn't be our first choice, but they should provide some improvement over the factory shocks. But our foreman Eric noted that we've just got a lot of problems with wander still. A lot of play over center, still some sway. I think the steering gear is the main culprit here, which we're going to try adjusting it, but we may end up having to recommend a new gear in this case. But let's take it out on the road and see just how bad it is. All right. So yeah, even without driving the thing, that is way more slop than you ever feel in one of these things. So people don't realize that it's normal for the steering on one of these things to feel a little loose, a little less responsive compared to a car, because you're sitting up so high. You've got a lot of flex in the rubber, some flex in the suspension itself. So a lot of what you think is play probably isn't true play. In this case, that's absolutely play. That's all slop in the steering. It is so light, you can tell that it's not doing anything other than just turning the input shaft on that steering gear. Got a creak in there. Oh, return to center, actually. That was actually pretty darn, wow. I'm honestly impressed with the return to center. Like we got some loose dash structure there. Bit of sway, definitely feel that. I think most of what we feel is going to be out on the highway. So far through here, low speed, it's not too bad. I can feel that safety clutch doing its job and bringing it back on center. But once you get to a straight section of road, that's where all this play is really going to become apparent. Durability's not bad. Pretty good, really. See which way it wants to go. Going left. Not impressed with the ride. This feels like we got a tire vibration issue or what? Okay, so what I'm looking for is it consistently tracking one way or the other? It feels okay. Yeah, now it's really going off to the right. So I'm checking for how well is it tracking right now? Is it tracking straight? So far it feels like it's favoring the right. Gonna have to get over into the left lane eventually to really confirm that. I can see what Eric's talking about with the wander, where, I mean, when you have that much play, it doesn't help. Feels like it wants to go left a little bit. Yeah, so what I'm noticing is sometimes it feels like it wants to go left, sometimes it feels like it wants to go right. Yeah, it's working its way over to the right now. A little bit of rut tracking, I think, contributing there. But yeah, see, we're going left now. Yep. I can see where if it was windy at all or a narrow lane, this thing would be a real handful. The Safety Plus is helping. I mean, to me, it feels like it is bringing it back on center. But when you've got that much play, let's see, yeah, we're going right. Let me get over to the left lane. I'm gonna do a little lane change here. Not gonna be too crazy about it because I don't know how everything is secured, but I'm gonna go left in 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Fair amount of sway there. Still going right. Now we're going left. I feel a little bit of tire vibration there. Not super impressed with these Monroe Magnum shocks so far. I mean, to me it feels like the ride could be smoother with a better shock, and also I'm feeling more body roll than what I would feel if it had a set of Evos on it. Alright, gonna go back to the right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. A lot of sway on initial turn in there, which, for it to already have a bigger front sway bar, that it seems excessive. The good news is, to me, it actually, because it comes back on center pretty good, that gives me hope that we'll just be able to adjust this play out. What I would really be afraid of seeing is if it just kept going whichever way I pointed it. So, I don't know, I think I gotta tell Eric, I feel like I've driven worse once. Take it on our back road section here now, where our brakes work. Let's see you. Yeah, the biggest problem I'm feeling really is that play. Yeah, a lot of excessive movement there. I think this is my first time driving one with the Monroe Magnum shocks. Not very impressive. Yeah, just a bit of excessive bounce there, excessive back and forth movement. Wow. I mean, they give a relatively plush ride. They're fairly soft. I think that's where people sometimes get hung up in terms of what they're expecting shocks to do for them. Is that usually, like on an F53, if you put a new set of shocks on it, like put a good set of conies on it, it's not going to be like a night and day, like, oh, the ride now is so much smoother, you know, I'm not feeling the bumps as much as I used to. A lot of that really comes down to your springs themselves, that, you know, you're getting that initial hit of the leaf spring, and there's not much you can do about that. Now the chatter, that kind of graininess feeling in the road, that's where I feel like there may be, some of it may be like a tire balance issue, but some of that I think is the shocks. I do think that would be improved with the set of conies on here over these Monroes. But the biggest thing is you want a good ride, but also a good level of control. And I'm not feeling a good level of control with these shocks. It just feels very bouncy, wallowy. They're not doing what I would like for them to do. Now the steering, to me, the biggest thing is that play. I feel like whoever installed this Safety Plus actually did a pretty good job of getting it adjusted properly. But Safety Plus is not going to fix steering play. It can, now this is a good point too, that sometimes poor returnability and stiffness on center can feel like steering play. And if you have both, if it's both not returning to center well, really stiff on center, and you've got a lot of actual play, a lot of actual looseness, then that's just a bad combination. That's what I thought we may have had going into this. But at least in this case, that Safety Plus is helping us track a little straighter. Now we're going left. I think there definitely is some water going on. Yeah, sometimes we do get some left-hand drift on this road. Now we're starting to edge our way over right, back left. Fortunately, the customer didn't have a copy of the alignment report from last time, so we don't know where it was set. Could be worth looking at that, because a lot of shops, you know, they'll just say, oh, it's within spec, green is good, or really the specs are pretty wide on these, or tolerance, I should say. Yeah, that little section in there, you always get a little bit of a feeling of porpoising, and that, to me, it just felt like the shocks are a little too soft through there. You get more movement than what I would like.
This would drive me insane.
The noise.
The constant rattling.
Yeah.
Can't you put in like foam or something to help the noise?
Well, I'm curious what's loose. It's got to be something in that dash structure there. Yeah.
It's excessive.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Just dealing with the drive and all this noise just got to get on your nerves after a while.
Yep. I wonder if we could figure out how to take care of that a little bit. Yeah, that's great. So, because of primarily the shocks, just how little damping they have, you get a lot of back and forth, and every time it does that, your dash or your windshield, whatever that is just reminding you even more of what's happening. To recap, Is this the worst F53 that I've ever driven? Probably not. Yeah, from what I felt, it actually, like, the returnability is really not too bad. Eric ranked it a 6. I feel like I would maybe go a little higher on that. I feel like the Safety Plus is doing something to, to bring it back on center. But the problem is, where is that center point? You've got, close to an inch of free play in the wheel before it's actually doing anything. So that right there is a major problem. Along with that, the sway, he ranked it a 6. Yeah, I would maybe even go a little lower on sway, maybe like a 5 on that. It does have some sway. To me it feels like those Monroes are just too soft. They're not also not damping that chatter as much as I would like. Could use some additional anti-sway bar upgrades. It's just got the factory bar in the rear, the Hellwig up front. Definitely got some room for improvement, and then you got that vibration going on too. But yeah, for me, just that play on center, that is about the worst play that I have seen in one of these. I think there was one exception. There was one guy I met at a rally where he said he had already adjusted it and it still had about as much play as this one has. That one, I think he did end up trying to go to Ford and trying to get them to cover it. So my hope with this one is that we can tighten it up, adjust that play out, and our return to center, our wander will still be okay. But we will see what we can do. I'm confident we can improve it though. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys with one of these chassis, just to understand that the big takeaway is there's no real one-size-fits-all upgrade for these. All the upgrades she has are helping, but you really want to get that inspection done. You want to get the coach looked at. You ideally drive it, have somebody who knows the way these things drive it for you as well, just to really help prioritize and figure out, is there something I should really fix, like an actual problem with one of the factory components before or at the same time as when I start putting these upgrades on it. So that's why we really recommend our road performance assessment process, where we drive it with you over that same course that we just went on. Before doing any upgrades, we'll get it back in the shop, we'll inspect it, we'll weigh it on all 4 corners, do whatever work you agree on with us, and then after all that's done, we drive it with you again. We let you drive it because we want to verify that all the problems that you came in identifying and whatever ones that we identified as well have been addressed to where both of us can be satisfied. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, you can call us 541-479-2882. That's our Henderson's lineup shop number. If you can't make it to the shop, you can also call our SuperSteer Parts Division, 888-898-3281. You can visit us at supersteerparts.com. And until next time, I want to wish you safer and happier driving. Thank you.
Talking steer and suspension, the tools of the trade. Shout out to SuperSteer Parts, upgrades made. From quiet campfires to the stars up above. Every road is a story, every turn is a love. Finding hidden gems and the paths off the grid. Life on the road, yeah, just like we did.